Welcome, guys, to day 5 of the 100-day challenge. Okay, so if you're just tuning in, what I want you to do right now is I want you to basically let me know when you guys are basically. We're gonna be going live on every channel out there. Okay, we're gonna be going in on every channel. We're gonna be going in on basically. We're gonna be going in on YouTube. We're basically going live on Facebook. We're gonna be going live on Twitter. Okay, and today I'm gonna be revealing secrets. And also today's Sunday, guys. Today's Sunday. I'm just kind of getting everything set up right now. Today's Sunday, and if you're tuning in right now and you're watching me on a Sunday, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for being here, guys. Thanks a lot for being here. Let's go ahead and let me see if I can go ahead and play some DJ music because listen, I'm just having fun right now. So let's go ahead and play some DJ music right now. Okay, guys? DJ music. Let's go ahead and as we kind of get set up, I'm gonna go ahead and play some DJ music because today is gonna be fire. Okay? Let's mess it one more time, one more time, one more time, one more time. Woo! Yeah. Yeah, guys. Okay, welcome. We're gonna be getting started here shortly. Just waiting on everybody to kind of join in, and then once we have everyone, we're gonna be going. Yeah. Oh, let me see this moves. Oh no, I'm just having fun. I'm just having fun. Let's make sure everything's kind of going all right now. We kind of have everything. Looks like we've pretty much set up. Everything should be live, and we are to go here, guys. Okay, so before we go ahead and get started, I want to go ahead and share a quote with you. Okay, it's a very interesting quote, and this is a quote from Warren Buffett, and the quote says, "The difference between successful people and really successful people say no to almost everything." Okay, so about them, the most important word in the English language. By far, probably the number one word that you probably have to put in your dictionary right now. It's the easiest word to say. Some people are afraid of it. Some people are not afraid of it. But it is a two-letter word, and that two-letter word is the word now. Okay, that two-letter word, and that word is no. Okay, so I'm going to talk about how basically this word is going to help you in your income. It's going to help you in your life. It's going to help you in your relationships. It's going to help you in your business when you start using the two-letter word, and that, guys, is going to be the word no. Okay, so I want you to think about this. All right, so I'm going to tell you guys a story. All right, I'm free to understand. I'm going to tell you a story. I haven't really said this in a while, but this happened 10 years ago. This happened 10 years ago. So I'm not really a party guy. I'm not really interested in that because for me, kind of what happens after, you wake up, you have hangovers, and then afterwards you're like, oh, such a sick night. So I drank all this alcohol. I'm not really a big fan of that, right? But 20, I was still fresh in college. I was still very new in college, and I was invited. I was new. I was like, cool. You know what? I'm gonna go check out. I'm gonna go check out the house party. So I remember I went to the party, and we stayed late. I don't drink. I generally I have no interest in alcohol because I don't like things that limit my mind. I don't like things to suppress my brain. But there's a lot of people that are like, yeah, they love it. Hey, some people might have know, but I'm not a big fan of it. So I just never paid attention to those vices. But so we stayed in this house party till about 3 to 4 in the morning. Now, to basically share some light so you can kind of understand the background of it, is we drove about 55 minutes to get to this party. In Texas, we drove about 55 minutes to get to this party. When I went to this party, I just needed there were three of the friends, so-called friends, went with, and when I went with this so-called friends, we went to this party, and I can tell you right now, I did not enjoy myself because one, I was like at that point in time, I was not interested in really kind of just that. But we stayed in. It's about 3 to 4 in the morning, and then now we have to drive back. Now we took my car because apparently no one in that party wanted to use their car, and this is why you got to be careful about who you hang around with. I was the only guy in that friend car. That's the first place I went wrong. Was I was the only guy in that friend group that had a car. Believe that or not, I am the only guy, which is kind of sick and crazy if you actually think about it. But I was the only guy in that friend group that pretty much had a car. So now we done with the party 3 to 4 in the morning. I was tired. I was sleepy. I barely slept the other day, and I also had to go back. I had to be in class at it was 7:30 a.m. in that morning, and this was 3 to 4 in the morning, and we had to drive 55 minutes back, which meant I was only going to get 2 hours of sleep. So while driving back, I told the guys, it's like, um, you know, I don't feel comfortable. I don't want to drive. This is not something, that I really want to do. They're like, nah, man, we're tired, we're drunk. And I was like, okay, they're all drunk. I'm the designated driver because I didn't drink. So now I now have to drive. Okay, fine. I was like, but guys, I'm really, really sleepy. Like, no, it's fine, man. No, we can't drive, man, because if we drive, I was like, fine. So we're driving, and dude, I was falling asleep. We're driving. And I was like, I really wanted to pull over. They're like, hey, man, we got to get back. We got to get in. So what ended up happening was there was an exit. I had to take an entrance into a highway, and I saw it too late. Okay, so I ended up swerved in, but I missed it. So I ended up like running into the kind of like in the bushes, and the car wasn't that badly damaged. It wasn't any. We didn't hit anything or anything like that. It was just kind of like went off the road, right? Now, the reason why I say that is, but also another thing was we also because the car was in the ditch, it was not like really, really like we didn't actually. There was not. We just couldn't take the car back, right? So we okay, we slept in the car in the freezing winter. We slept in the car and picked everyone up, and then we basically went ahead and towed the car out. Here is the moral of that story, and here's the reason why I'm telling you that. The reason why I'm sharing to understand one thing is I was in a situation that I didn't want to be in to begin with. No one asked me. No one forced me to be in that house party. They asked me because one, I had the cars there, so they're like, hey, let's get Emmanuel to drive us there. Inside 2020, if I had said the word that I'm sharing with you right now, which is the word in which if you use this word, you probably will be able to avoid situations you shouldn't be in. Because most people, if they're being honest with themselves, they need to say this word more often. Because if you say the word no, no, if you say, you'll end up finding out more often than not that basically you end up avoiding things in which beneficial to your life. You end up avoiding things in which basically do not add value to you in any way, shape, or form. You end up avoiding things in which you never should have been with to begin with, if you ask me. But that is basically the power of using the one word "no." Right. So I had this. I had this. How would I put it? So we're done with that. We get back. I ended up missing class. I didn't end up going to class. And my sister's probably watching this right now. Okay. So what ended up happening after was I ended up realizing that group of friends were not never really my friends. They never really were interested in you know hanging out with me of how they could exploit or basically get something out of me. That was literally what happened. Now, I didn't learn my lesson there because I genuinely was a nice guy. As a nice guy, what do they say every time about nice guys? Nice guys finish last. Nice guys finish because you do not put yourself first. You put the needs of others first. That's a good thing, but usually what ends up happening is people end up taking advantage of you, and then you end up being in situations in which you should have never been in, and then you end up pretty much kind of beating yourself up and complaining and like, hey, lose me, blah 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 blah. But the truth is this: I'm going to be generous with you. Nobody cares. Did the manager say nobody cares? Oh yeah, nobody cares because guess what? You can in your life where you made a move. Move into some, to help somebody move, to move into a different location because of someone. You got into a job, move into a school because, oh, there's this person I really want to know. You move, then guess what? That person is like ended up like, oh, you know what? I actually don't enjoy hanging out with you. And then now, guess what? You lose a friend, but then with the tail between your legs, you. Now, why am I saying this? I'm saying this because I want you to understand something. Is people think that the word focus, when you say the word focus, when you say the word priority, people think advertising and people think the word focus means you just like, focus and tunnel vision on one thing. But that's not true. Because let me tell you why you are able to go from, let's say I'm gonna see if I can share my screen here. I'm trying to see if I can figure this screen sharing stuff out because if you guys been following me for a while, you know how to how the screen let me see if I can go ahead and share my screen here. But I want you to think about it. Let's say you're going from point A and you're going to point B, and you have to take, a straight line, right? Or you got to take a road, right? And you're using your GPS. You plug in your GPS, like, hey, I'm engineered to, I don't even know wherever it is you're going to the airport. The reason why you're able to go from point A to point B is because you refuse to take the other turns that we're on. Because imagine as to why you're going, the GPS is saying go straight. You start turning right, you start turning left, you start turning right, you start turning left, you start turning right, you start turning left. What are the odds you're going to get there? You're like, well, I am focusing on whatever the GPS tells me. It's not that you're focusing on what the GPS tells you, it's the fact that you're ignoring the other turns. Right. So focus on its own is basically saying no to things that do not add value to you or help you move in any way, shape, or form closer to your goal. That is the word focus. That is the definition of focus. People would have more focus in their lives, would actually get further in life if they decided to say the word no. I want to tell you guys another story. So most people always ask me, Emmanuel, how did you get into insurance? You guys, most of you who know me personally know especially as a pilot, right? I love it. Phenomenal job. I mean, it's like, I'd say hands down the best thing you could ever do. Quickest, easiest way to make money. And then obviously started a business. And over the years, I've learned a lot of lessons. Okay. But the most important lesson that I have learned is the word called, I hate to say it, but it's kind of going to be prioritizing. What is important to you and prioritizing yourself. In a nutshell, basically the word is to being selfish towards your goals. You have to be selfish towards your goals. Nobody's gonna care more about what your goals are, what your life is, to you than you. You see, the other day, I was in a rush, right? I was stuck in traffic. I was in a rush, and I was like, "Why is nobody moving out of the way for me?" Genuinely, because no one cares. Yeah, no one knows. I was like, trying to drive and cares. They're all trying to go somewhere too. Up to me to prioritize where it is I'm going to. It's up to me to put myself first. You got to put yourself first above everything. Because when you take care of yourself, I know I'm kind of going on a tangent, guys. I know I always go on a tangent. While flying on a plane, what do they always say? Tell me, what did they always say on the plane? Put your mask on before what? Before you help others. Even if it's your kid, put your mask on first before you help others. Say no to the urge of putting your mask on, because guess what? You might lose oxygen and lose energy before you go ahead and help others. Here's the thing, and this is where I want you to understand is imagine you have a jar, a cup, okay? You have a jar, you have to fill up a cup. If the jar, imagine a kettle. I don't know if I can draw a kettle. Okay, I'm gonna end up drawing something weird. It's probably gonna look like a chicken. Yeah, it's probably gonna look like a chicken. Probably would look like a. Imagine this. Imagine you have a jar. You have a jar and you have a cup. You have to fill the cup up, right? But in this way in which you have to fill the cup up, let me go ahead and exit out of this sharing screen so you guys can kind of see my face. But imagine you have a jar. You have a cup. You have to fill the cup up with a jar. If the jar has no water in it, it's useless to you because the jar has no useless to you. Okay. Same thing. You are saying yes to everybody, but you're not prioritizing yourself and you're not increasing the value to you of yourself that you can provide to others. Guess what ends up happening? You are a useless. Did this guy just come? Yeah, actually, I did. But if you focus on prioritizing yourself and increasing your value and saying no to things that do not add value to you, you become, because now when you have water in your jar, you can go ahead and pour into the cup of others. So that's why the reason is this is you need to learn to say no to a lot of things that do not help you to you a filled jar. Okay. And listen, if, for those of you who didn't go to church today on a Sunday, welcome to Sunday service. This is Pastor Emmanuel, Preacher Emmanuel, preacher here today. Okay. Welcome to Sunday service in the. No, I don't really think Sunday service. God forgive me, please. Okay. All right. Let's continue here. So I'm going to show you guys a story as to how I got in. So it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. It's weird. I remember this. I ordered Uber Eats, right? For those of you, and go ahead and hit the likes up, guys. Get the likes up. If you, I don't, why are you watching this and not liking? Up, guys? Get the likes up. So I ordered Uber Eats. Okay, this is so funny. Oh my god, I ordered. Okay, so I ordered Uber Eats. Now the guy came. He delivered it. He was a Nigerian guy. I just asked him like, "Hey, where are you from?" He goes, "What do you mean?" You know how everyone always gets offended when you say, "Oh, where are you from?" So he kind of took a little step back, like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Where are you from?" I hear an accent. you're not going to know where I'm from. Now, most Nigerians don't hear the accent that I have in my, I don't really have a Nigerian accent, because what people are expecting is they are expecting me to sound like this when I with an accent. This is what they are expecting. But what ends up happening is I don't end up sounding like this. And then they're like, no, you are not African. Because if you're African, an accent. But so they expect me to sound like this. And I'm like, no, you, mother sucker, this is not how I sound. Okay. This is how I sound. Okay. Or I can talk a little bit with a little bit of country accent. And then, I can be like, hey, yo, how you doing? Down from Texas. And as I'm just coming in from Texas right now, I'm go ahead and talk to you guys about the good Lord. I'm gonna talk to you all about the good Lord. I am legitimately just having fun, right? This is just fun to me. But all right, so we start talking, and he's like, he tells me Nigerian. I'm like, oh, nice. I was like, nah, yeah, dude, I am Nigerian. He's like, no, you're not. I was like, okay. I started like going through the whole history. Wow. Long story short, exchange contacts. I didn't hear from the guy, but 2 weeks later, he calls me. He goes, hey, man, you need to come. You need to hear this, man. He's like, are you interested in like making extra money? This was like pre-pandemic, like right around the pandemic as it was happening. He's like, you need money, and which was weird was the extra money he was asked. I look hindsight 2020, and I'm like, dude, if honestly, if you had asked extra money that he was like, oh, you can make this extra money, dude, I could have legitimately, I was making way more than that. But I was like, all right, fine. So I jumped on the call. The Robert Kiyosaki of the, let me see if I can find this. Oh god, this is gonna be funny. Robert Kiyosaki, self-employed chart or something like that. All right, hey guys, I'm on Google right now. Okay, be patient with me. Be patient with me, people. Be patient. I'm gonna get the one that looks like a handwriting, just so you can be like, wow, Emmanuel, you so sexy, so sexy. Like, jeez, Emmanuel, jeez, God, writing is awesome. But this is not really my handwriting, so because if you guys know how I write, you know that my handwriting is looks like a chicken scratch, and is way. It looks like my handwriting needs help. But we're on Google right now, and then literally, this is literally what he brought up. Chart. They're like, all right, so you got the employee, you got the business owner, you got the self-employed, and you got the common in a lot of MLMs and a lot of what do you want to call it, like make money pyramid schemes and shit. Oh, part of my bad. I said the S word. My bad. Okay. But um, we end up basically they come present this chart to me, and then he's like, oh yeah, so right now you're an employee. I was like, yeah. You should be a business owner. You own a system. People work for you. They sell you this ego. They're like, yeah, it's it. You should do it. You should do it. And then they're like, you go from a business owner, self-employed, I think, to business owner. And then, you're going to be from self-employed to you own your job. And then now you own a system. And then from a business, oh yeah, let me you come up here to the business owner. From the business owner, you come up here to investor, and then from an investor, you're making a lot of money. And I'm like, I'm going to tell you guys something straight up the bat. Let me tell you this. I know employees making than business owners. Straight up. I know employees making 10 times. I know people who are employed in Fortune 500 companies, pilots who are making roughly around 300 to 500 grand a year. And I know business owners barely struggling to make 35K. Do you know? I mean, if you guys want to look at this, let me see if the average income. Let me see. Average income a gym owner. All right, we're gonna Google this together. 30 to 60,000 is the average income of a gym owners in the United States. So there are people who have a if you have a 6-figure W2 job, more money than most gym owners. You're making more money than you have to be having your own business. It's something that yes, you can make a lot of money from it, but it's a success rate of 8%. And that's the reason I tell you we have a coaching program where we help you start your own business. Okay. You can email me, Emmanuel at RIZN Results.com to learn about it, or you can go ahead and click the link in the description. It's basically a software. I'm not going to 9 yards because I'm kind of in like the whole story right now, back to the Robert Kiyosaki thing. But they gave me the pitch, right? So they gave me the pitch. They gave me how everything works. And he's like, yeah, man, you can make an extra $2,500 a month. I was like, sure, fine. I signed up. Within 4 days, I was a licensed agent, right? And I got all the licenses wrong was not understanding that I was so focused more on the licenses versus understanding that I was supposed to be building relationships. So, right, I was trying to get a portfolio of licenses versus pretty much focusing on getting a portfolio of people to know me. And that's the reason why I wanted, because now I have a reach of roughly about to 150 to 200,000 people a month. That to me now is much better than 60 licenses, because I see a lot of insurance agents who are in the insurance industry who are basically stacking up licenses, health license, life license, this license, this license. I know a lady who's got 12 licenses. And I'm like, what's the point? So you can go brag and say I'm licensed in 12 places. Oh, you can go brag and be like, oh, I'm licensed in this. It's the same. It's the same fallacy of people who are like, oh, I'm gonna go get a bag. What else? Masters. Then I'm gonna get my PhD, and then a PhD 2x, and a PhD, and then you just spend your entire life in school acquiring all these degrees that are just pieces of paper because you never end up doing anything with it. I'm diverting right now, but I was gonna play a laughing stuff. I'm not gonna do it. But the one thing is this: after that presentation, I get in. And they tell me you need to make a list of your top 25. Okay, you got to make a list of your top 25. Top 25. Fine. I make a list. I called my friend. He's like, bro. And then he said the word, the F word. What the F word are you doing, dude? Why are you doing this? What is up with you? He says, oh, and I was like, dude, no, it's this. He's like, I lost my best friend at the time. I was the godfather to his kid. Nolan, his kid is like what, 7 years old? Because Anthony's 5. So he's like, yeah, 7 now. And yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. And he was like, so I lost a best friend. I lost a lot of friends. I ended up selling one policy at a time. But obviously, you guys know my journey. I made a lot of money, as everything goes. And then I also got hit with a lot of chargebacks. But what happening was, I had a push and pull with the insurance industry. I had a very big push and pull. It was a love and hate relationship. Made a lot of money, lost a lot of money. And then, like, if I said no at that time to being in insurance, I would have not moving forward, but I also would not have become the person that I am today, which means I probably would not have been making this video. Probably would have had the confidence to do it, and then you guys would not be getting this awesome Sunday preaching for those of you sinners who didn't go to church. No, not saying you sinners, but you guys know what. That's pretty much how. If you guys wonder what's a chargeback is basically where you get hit with we had an agent who was selling at the time, and we got hit, put me in about $30,000 to $40,000 worth of debt because of this agent. And honestly, if I had just said no to recruit him, because then again, he was kind of giving a little, he was always smoking the devil's, he was kind of like a smoking the devil's grass. I'm not saying it's wrong with it. I don't do it. I've never done it. I have no interest in it. I don't have any interest in any vices. My father was always, you if you do that. Wait, so I was right. I'm first and pissed. I never did any of those vices because I never was interested in it. But yeah, he was, and you kind of got to pay attention to people's character. That was one of the core reasons why we ended up shutting down the insurance agency, was because we had a lot of bad hires, which there was kind of some upfront signs ahead, like, behavior. And honestly, if I just looked at it and said no, probably we still have a multi-million-dollar insurance agency right now. But I digress. But the reason why I'm sharing the stories to you is the 2-letter could basically have kept me making a 5 to 6 figure monthly income consistently on the insurance agency side, software side, but could have kept me in a 5 to 6 figure consistent income if only I had said the word NO. Now, I don't know about you right now, because you're gonna think about it from a perspective of that club that you went to. Then now you're hungover because you outside of there. I know you. I see you. I see you there. I see you. You're out there drinking, getting wasted, getting hammered, just drinking your sorrows away. That could have been avoided. Because that's not good for you. That's not in any way helping you. That's not going to help you go, become a better person. That's not going to help you, in any way grow your business. That's not going to help you become a better father, mother. That's not going to help you become a better person. But you said yes to it because you didn't want to disappoint your friends. Like, hey, Jimmy, come on, let's go. Come on, what you doing? Come on, don't be such a wuss. Come on, man. And then guess what? You did it, and now look at that. Because let me tell you something: is every decision that you make, you are the one that's going to have to live with the consequences, not them. No one else. No one else is going to have to pay the price. You you right now are going through, whatever you're struggling with right now that you made a decision for just because you wanted to please others, you right now are going to struggle. You're not going to be there. They're not going to be there when you're struggling. They're not going to be there when you're crying yourself to sleep. They're not going to be there when your bad decisions are basically putting you in debt. They're not going to be there. They're not. It's just going to be you left holding the bag. It's just going to be crying. It's just going to be you struggling. It's just going to be you holding the bills. It's just going to be you out there. You know, if you said no to drunk driving, there's so many people who said, you know what, guess what? Most of them now are God, hopefully everything goes well, but most of them are incarcerated because they drove drunk. First off, I'll just say no to drinking because drinking is poison. But guess what? Now, a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, he said this, but I just never found interested. But if you said it will get you the goals that you want, and think about it also in a way, and if it's a business, most people quit. The reason why most businesses fail within the first few years is not even because it gets tough, it's because yes to quit it. The devil's gonna come at you and it's gonna tempt you. It's gonna be like, hey, listen, comfortable. Before you started this business, before you got into business, you were out there partying, look at you, you had all the girls everywhere, you had all this, you had all that. Yeah, you're gonna get that temptation. You're gonna get that. You're gonna get tempted. You're gonna be like, oh my life, how it was. My life used to be fun, before I started a business, before I started sleeping in early. People tell me like, man, you're in bed at 8 a.m. Not 8 a.m., 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. I'm like, yeah, because nothing good happens past 10. What else am I doing past 10? Right? What? Well, you could. You're still young, live your life. And what's interesting is people who always tell you, live your life, live your life, live your life. Question. This person right now that's telling me to live my life, live my life, live my life, live my life. Do I want their life? Because people and all that stuff, and then you're doing it in your 30s, you're doing it in your 40s, you're doing it in your 50s. Some people do it in their 60s. I mean, shit. Hopefully, oh my bad again. You're not doing it in your 70s because if you're doing it in your 70s, you do not belong in the club. So you need to get your ass out of there. But this is kind of a little bit it's just kind of like not normal conversation, and I'm a normal person just like you, and basically like learn about me. And honestly, another reason why I make this lives is because I think almost every is scripted. You have a script. Everything pretty much works off operates off of a script, but this isn't scripted. This right. So just kind of think about in your personal life right now, what situations would you have avoided if you have never said the word yes? The word yes would get you in trouble. Sometimes you need to say yes. Sometimes, if you really want to be focused, you need to say the word no. The word no, trust me, trouble more times than it will get you into trouble. I can guarantee will get you out of trouble. So, as we pretty much, I want to talk about the seven things. The seven things. Yeah, extra fingers. I think you need to say no to if you want to move forward in life. Okay, I have it written down here, so I'm gonna read my piece of paper. Okay, I actually brought notes. It would be nice if I actually typed this up, but guys, listen. My chicken scratch handwriting, my beautiful chicken scratch handwriting. Let me go ahead and share my screen right now so we can go ahead and talk about the seven things that I believe that you need to basically say no to. Okay, guys. So the first that you need to say no to is the vices, degeneracy. All right. You probably like, dude, what in God's name did you just write? Listen, stop being a hater. But vices and degeneracy. What are vices? Maybe you're addicted to something. Maybe you're addicted to, porn. Maybe you're addicted to, the devil's grass. Maybe you're addicted to alcohol. Maybe there is something in which you go to whenever you're stressed. Okay. You go to the it is that you use to relieve the tension. Here's the thing you don't understand is when you engage in all these vices and instant dopamine triggers and all these things that suppress your core ability to function as a person, but it gives you that pleasure that you need. What ends up happening? Basically programming your mind to become more instant gratification. You're programmed to not be able to interact with others. You're getting yourself in a point in which your vices in the future. You shouldn't be doing them. And here's the thing, and the trick if you want to kind of overcome your vices is it is very because there's actually I want to see if I can find this. There's actually a study I can't remember. I'm gonna see if I can find it and I'll post it later after the video. But most U.S. soldiers back in Vietnam came back. I think it was heroin or cocaine addicts, right? So they were addicted to. I think it was heroin. I think it was heroin or cocaine. Somebody correct me to it, right? They noticed the most majority of them were addicted. I don't know the percentage of them, but they noticed that once they came back, in a matter of a few months, a few years, they never relapsed again. And everyone was like, okay, that's interesting. And then addicts, cocaine addicts, heroin addicts, all the people that do the vices, they they go to rehab for however many days. They come back and then they relapse. It's like I don't even know how many. Let me see if I can find this. How many people percentage of people relapse from whatever 60%, 60%, roughly 40 to 60% of people relapse from whatever it is that they do. Because here's the reality: is this truth is the reason why most people relapse is because your vices, degeneracy, is very much related to your keyword is. I'm gonna try to write this really nicely, guys. Wow, you can read it. You can struggle. This is for me to write really this nicely, but your environment. It is related to your environment. Your environment is your trigger. Think about it. There's something in your environment that is making you, that's triggering you to basically go ahead and do those vices. Listen, this is tough love right now. I'm telling you right now. But you need to stop those vices that are keeping you from reaching your full potential. Very important. Okay. Like I was talking to an acquaintance of mine, and he was like, and I'm like, I don't watch it. I don't have any interest in doing that. That to me, it's just like watching two people do it's not something that's interesting to me. And he's don't have to talk to girls. And I'm like, dude, I looked at him. I was like, you lost cause. You do it so you don't have to girls. Do you understand how that it's like watching two people go at it so that you don't have to talk to girls focused on my mission and my goal. And I'm like, talking to women is what? Uh what? Because they are just another the opposite gender. They're just another human being. You're talking to them in a casual way. You talk to a woman in the same way I talk to men. No two differences. This is I'm talking to a person. But it's like, yeah, but you limit the sexual urge. And I'm like, you have to understand, my friend, in a few years, the advice that you're doing, because this will create an addiction for you. Because, you know, every time in which you feel stressed, every time something happens, what are you gonna do? You're gonna relapse and go right back to that. The vices you're doing at some point, eventually, it's taking a toll on you. It's taking a toll on your body. And a lot of times, when you cut off degeneracy, you notice that you actually become a better person. I conversation with him, but I 1,000,000% doubt he's gonna cut it off. 1,000,000%. I don't think he's going to. Number two, unverified claims. Now, here's interesting catch and interesting caveat here is honestly, I do not guarantee that you can make, 60, 70, 80, 100 grand a month, because then again, the reality is almost every business, almost every course, almost everything is usually about 9 to 11% will actually see success because they're the ones that are willing to invest, make things fit it to their brand and fit it to their personality. Other people just don't really do the work. They're just lazy, don't do the work. So you can't really guarantee, I can't guarantee guarantee like, oh, I can make you $1 million in this month. Oh, you can do this, you can do that. You have to be very careful of that. Say no to that. Say no to the shiny object. Alex Hormozy said something. He goes, a lot of times success, I'm paraphrasing it, so it's probably 100% wrong. A lot of times success is basically the woman in the red dress. But the problem with that is the woman in the red dress eventually becomes more and more attractive. I'm gonna see if I can find this because I'm gonna see if I can find this. I need to hear this. But basically it is the woman in the red dress becomes more and more attractive. Let me see if um you guys really need to hear this. Let me see if I can find it in today's live video. Okay, but yep, I found the video. Ooh, I am so So awesome. Awesome, people. Awesome. Okay, so let me go and share my screen here. And let's share it. All right. And let me know how the audio is, guys. All right. It's I think that's the one, yeah.
Matrix, there's the woman in the red dress. And so it's one of the training programs that Morpheus takes Neo on to teach him one simple lesson. And so they're walking through a crowd, and then there's this woman in this red dress walking towards, and she's like stands out from the crowd at Neo's head. And then he looks back at Morpheus. He's like, "Were you listening?" He was like, "What?" He's like, "Or were you looking at the one in the red dress?" And he says, "Look again." He looks back at the woman, and it's Agent Smith pointing a gun to his head. I see distractions and new opportunities, shiny object as the woman in the red dress. Every level of business, the woman in the red dress becomes more and more attractive because at first you have to say no to 1,000 opportunities, then 10,000, then 100,000, and you have to learn how to say no again at every level. Because I thought that once I learned how to say no to the woman in the red dress, I'd be done forever. That's not true. She comes back every level. She just gets hotter and hotter and hotter. You get better and better and better. And so the quality of the red woman in the red dress that you can attract is higher. When I look at the businesses that we have, I used to think that like innovation was everything. The vast majority of the business success is actually doing all the stuff that you know you should be doing, but you aren't. In the Matrix, there's the woman.
Boom. Okay. You guys, okay. Okay. So you understood that there is the woman in the red dress. Okay. Summarize that. And he said it. It gets more and more. The woman in red dress becomes more and more attractive, right? Is basically, paraphrase movie in the Matrix. You see him. He turns around, sees her, and then Morpheus asks him when he comes back. He's like, "We pay attention." He's like, "No." He's like, we pay attention to the woman in the red dress." He turns back. He's like, "Boom!" And you see the agent's pointing a gun at him. Of you saying yes to distractions in your life, because guess what? Those distractions are literally hidden agents that are going to be pointing face with problems that you never asked for to begin with. That is basically the summary of the woman in the red dress. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys are paying attention here as far as that concept there is the power of saying no, the power of saying no to distractions, the power of saying no to things that do not add value to you, the power of saying no to things that do not benefit you, no to things that genuinely are not on your mission, on your purpose. Okay. Basically, saying no to shiny always going to be shiny object. There's always going to be the woman in the red dress. You have to be willing to say no to the woman in the red dress if you genuinely want to achieve your goals and achieve your purpose, because that shiny object hidden inside of it is poison. Hidden inside of you never asked for to begin with. Hidden inside of it is the truth behind what they're not telling you. Because most people never understand this. Is if you because everyone wants to know the truth, but if you were told the truth to begin with, you would never take action. If you were told the business is hard and you're gonna have days in which you're gonna be up late. Like I got back. I was done yesterday at 2 in the morning. I woke up today at 6:30, and I'm back here. I'm doing this, working, and I'm doing the live right now at 11:40 in the morning because I said I was committed to the 100-day live challenge. And most of you are like, dude, you only slept 4.5 hours, but that was something I said I'm committed to. I am telling you this. This is not sexy. This is not attractive. Being a business owner, being an entrepreneur, it is almost. This is my addiction. Being an entrepreneur. Being an entrepreneur is an addiction. It's something that you do. We are running away from something deep down. We don't like being alone with ourselves, so we keep ourselves busy with work because work is a cope. Work is an addiction. And the way we all pick our vices. The reason why I like this vice is because this vice makes attention. That's the key. Attention. Attention is currency. There's two types of currency. There's fiat monetary currency, and then we live in a day and age where attention is currency. Okay. Number three is negative friends. Now think about this: the part where I had those friends who wanted to use me to and get the free ride to a 55-minute drive that ended up making me having to ended up causing me leaving me with a damaged car stranded in the middle of outside. And the reason why I want to say you want to say no to negative friends is because you know that genuinely they are negative friends, but you're afraid of saying no to them because that if you say no to them, they're gonna come back and look at you and be like, "Oh, really? You think you're too good for us? Oh, really? You think you're too this? Oh, really? You think you're too that? Oh, really? You think you're too that?" Too that. But here's the truth: is that if you don't say no to them, they are the woman in the red dress. That negative thing that they want you to do, that thing that they're trying to distract you. Because I'm gonna tell you something about business is when I became an entrepreneur, most of my friends that I used to hang out with, that I used to go out with, even though I didn't enjoy what I was doing, they don't reach out to me anymore because like, yeah, Emmanuel's not really, he's doing this entrepreneur thing, he's doing this business thing, he's doing all his own thing. Well, best of luck to him. or people, I've had people who I used to hang out with when they found I was a, doing the business. Those were so friends calling me a rich bastard. I like the word rich. Yeah, bastard. I guess my father is late, so I guess they're totally right about that. But the concept of that and is if I had said no to negative friends and people who generally are not aligned with my purpose, I would have avoided a lot of mistakes. And that is the one lesson that I learned was saying the word no. All right, as we continue here is staying up late. Okay, staying up late and going to the club. That's one thing you got to say no to. That's pretty much explanatory number one, two, three. Four, it's very important. It's instant gratification. I think there's I give you. Let me see the compounding penny. Let me see if I can find that penny story. Okay, penny 30 days. So let me see if I can find this. Okay, it's basically, do you want $1 million right now, or a penny that doubles every day for 30 days? Do you want $1 million right now, or a penny that doubles every day for 30 days? Do the experiment. Double a penny every day for 30 days. At the end of the 30 days, you end up with 5 million. So I give you $1 million right now. On 30 days, you get 5 million, but you don't know you're getting 5 million because it's all come. That's the thing. It's instant gratification. Is most people want the instant now versus the stack and compound it, right? Make $1 million right now versus building a skill set that allows them to generate 300-400 grand a year over the next 3 to 4 years to still make the million to generate it as opposed to being given it. Because there's a statistic that let me see if I can find that statistic of lottery that go broke. Percentage of lottery winners that go broke, and there's 70% of lottery winners go bankrupt within a few years of winning the lottery. 70%. Here's the thing: is this is instant gratification leaves you worse off than you were before you got that thing. Worse off, worse off than. I'm being very genuine honest with you, and I want you to pay easily. When you're going for the, oh yeah, give me this now, 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 give me this now. What ends up happening is this is the consequences of you getting the fast money. Saying the fast money comes with slow problems. People that go rob a bank eventually end up, being locked up for 5, 10, 15 years. Versus saying, hey, I'm gonna go learn a job in the next 4 years. I will make the same equivalent amount of money as opposed to doing something that is, that doesn't make any sense. But the thing is, it is very, very hard. Same thing over and over again, knowing that you are getting the same result and you have to wait. I mean, there's also the. Let me see if I can do the. Let's see if I could do the. Show you the mash. Uh, on the kids. So there was a marshmallow test that was done. I think it was done by it was a Stanford marshmallow test, and there's a long video. I don't want to play the video because it's just gonna be too long, and I'm probably gonna get hit with copyrights. But the marshmallow test was basically just kind of brought a few kids, and I'm pretty much paraphrasing right now, but it just basically they gave them they said, hey, you want to wait? You can get I think one marshmallow now, or 4 to 5 marshmallows, at the end of a time period. I'm like I said, I'm paraphrasing, so I'm probably incorrect that. But most of the kids who waited for the marshmallow, I think they did a study like 40 years or 50 years later that they found out that those kids actually, had more success as opposed to the people that wanted the instant gratification. Even I've had to practice is the ability to be patient. And that's why I got to say no to things that are like gratify you now, because guess what? It is robbing you from your future self. Okay, so the next thing we have here is let's see. Here is impulse control. All right, this is a funny one. So one of my bad habits was I have a tendency to just buy stuff without actually knowing if I needed or wanted. So one of the things that I started doing was I drew a chart. So I have a chart that I go through a decision process, and this is something that I had to incorporate very recently. And stuff shared here. So it's a decision making process. So basically, the decision making process goes into two things. Okay, all right. So there's two different charts, but is this a need or a want? Okay. Okay. So if it's something that, all right, it's something I want, okay, it's just a want, but it's a need. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Checks. Then I go through the last step of the decision process plan. In business, then I go into, does this get me more attention? Because attention is currency, or does it make me more money? Right? No, it doesn't get me more attention. Like, for instance, there's a networking event I'm going to. It's a 5 grand to get in, which I'm like, boom, it gets me more attention. Does it make me more money? I don't know. Maybe in 3 to 5 years, because guess what? I will be making contacts. And if I get 20 contacts with a few seven-figure business owners, 7 figure to 8 figure business owners, and in the next 5 years, we do a deal for maybe 1 million or 3 million. Did it help me? Yeah, 5 Gs to make 1 million, 3 million in the next five, 3 to, if you summarize it, it's like making 1 million a year for a low investment of 5 Gs. That's kind of how I analyze it. So is it worthwhile investment? Yeah. But if it's like, hey, I got, let's say, okay, boom, I want to go rent a boat. Why are you going to go rent a boat? Okay, it's going to cost you $900 to rent that boat, rent a yacht, whatever it is. Is it going to get me more attention? Yes, if I post it on social media. But if you guys notice one thing about me is I really don't like the reality of everything is there is a bigger fish in the sea. You think you're the one that has most money. You're not the one that has most money. There's always someone that has more money than you. There's always someone that always somebody. So one of the things I don't like doing that is I don't like bragging because I like humility, dude. I'm literally basically streaming live and just right. But the reason why I'm kind of bringing that up to you is go through a decision making process before you spend anything financially. It might take you a second, 1 minute, 2 minute delay, but the minute or 2 minute delay might be what might avoid you from having to waste money. Now, there's also that principle where people, well, poor people worry about spending money. Rich people ask themselves, how can I afford this? That's true. Yeah, 100%. How can I afford this? But before you go to the process of asking yourself, you first need to go through the process is this something I want to spend on? Like, let's say, you want to buy a $500,000 house or 700, 750, $1,000 house. You're like, first off, is are you buying the house in a place in which it gives you, it puts you in a neighborhood with a different echelon of people that you can probably, they can get to know as friends and, become and improve your circle. Yeah. Okay. Good. So in that way, what is the future potential of that? That's something as well you also got to look into. So that's in the concept of thinking to in your decision making process. And obviously, the next one here we have anything that takes you away from your goals, anything that takes you away from your mission, anything that takes you away from your purpose. If you are in a relationship and you want to stay committed in your relationship, staying committed in a relationship is not saying, oh, I'm only gonna love my girlfriend or love my wife and focus on her and never, do anything. That's not what commitment is it's not like, oh, I'm gonna do this, no, staying committed is literally just saying, I'm just gonna say no to any other girl that hits on. Now, here's the funniest thing: is most guys don't get hit on, so you don't have to worry about it. And if you're a woman watching this, you're like, staying committed is just saying, no to any other guy that hits on me. Basically, it's simple. That's basically loyalty, just saying no. That's it. The word no stop you from making bad decisions. If you're thinking of ending that relationship now with that person, is like, no, I'm not gonna do it until we try and this something's gonna work out. I'm not gonna quit my business now. I'm gonna try it for another year. Because here's the way I operate. I go 1 year at a time. 1 year at a time. If it's a business, 1 year at a time. 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 So that is summary of what I got for you guys today. So, obviously, watch us. I think there's a lot of value here in this video. If you found value with it, leave a like, leave a sub, definitely comment. Let me know what you guys think about it. And like I said, guys, this is Sunday. I'm thinking Sunday is just gonna be like a motivational Sunday, or life lesson Sunday, or life coaching Sunday, or something like that. And then Monday we talk about business and money. So tomorrow I'm gonna kind of be going a little bit more. So it's gonna be the boring stuff. So today was more like me talking about my. Gonna get a little boring, but that's pretty much what I got for you guys for today. We're gonna go ahead and end the stream now. And for everyone else, thank you guys for joining me. All 400 of you guys that came on. It's a pleasure.